Hi there, my name's Tim Walter. I'm a life coach and a geomancer. Geomancer is somebody that works with the subtle energies of a space to enable wellness for the people that live there or work there. It's quite windy today, so there'll be quite a lot of wind noise on the mic, but there you go. I just wanted to show you where we've moved to. We're up here in the North Yorkshire Dales. We're near a town called Reeth. And we've basically nipped across the Dales from the South Dales up the Pateley Bridge up here to the north. So it's an amazing place, absolutely incredible. We moved in the winter when we had very hard frosts. We didn't have heating, and we had a couple of days there where the water supply actually froze as well, but that's another story altogether. When you look around, it looks as though it's quite isolated, but actually there's loads of properties around, there's loads of habitation, there's all sorts of evidence of mankind working in the landscape, working the land for farming, and particularly up here for mining. This is a real old-fashioned lead mining area. A couple of hundred years ago this would have been really quite busy. This is an area called Yorkshire Dales, and there's about 3,000 inhabitants in this particular area. We live actually right beside a public footpath, and that's quite popular. And this, where I've brought you up the side of the hill above the house, is a very popular mountain biking route. Not surprisingly, it's a hell of a run down the hill. And it goes along Framington Edge down to Reeth, so it's quite a popular route. So it's not isolated at all. And just above the hill behind us is a little hamlet called Booze. And there's a fair few houses in that as well, so don't feel in the least bit isolated, although there is, to get to our house we have to drive down a 1 mile pretty bumpy farm track, but it's going to be great. We're just settling in now, and the idea is that I'm actually going to be running workshops from home, from Storthwaite Hall itself, and what I'll do is I'll pop up to the car park in the nearest village and pick the attendees up and trolley them down in the 4x4, but you certainly need a 4x4 to get down the track. You know, it's funny, isn't it, because I work a lot with people's houses and helping them clear the energy and help houses become more like homes for people that don't feel comfortable. And I've never yet moved or lived in a house in which I actually feel more comfortable. Storthwaite Hall to me is my idyllic house. Its location and the house itself. Parts of the house are 500 years old, so it's got some great history. It's had a lot of work done to it over the years. It still needs some refurbishment, shall we say, to bring it up to spec. It's got a little garden amongst all of this countryside that we have here. We've still got a little space of our own, but it's very overgrown. So this really, to me, is kind of exemplifying what I do for other people, because I feel now, at last, after 6 weeks having moved in and tried to get through some of the chaos, I feel at last that I'm actually becoming more me, feel that I can actually now tell people about this countryside connection, which actually can really help calm people down. It's about mindfulness and about being present in the moment, and it's the sort of connection that you get on a bigger scale here with a landscape, with the countryside, but it's the sort of connection that you get when you're gardening. And I've never really been a particularly keen gardener, but moving in here, there's so much potential in the garden, and there's so much life in the garden, both on a purely tangible physical level, looking at the plants and the flowers that the previous owners have planted, and also on an energetic level as well. By that I mean the life force, if you like, within that garden. There's some real potential there. And certainly as a place to meditate, being out here in the countryside, in this amazing space, the meditations that I've had here and the healings that I've done for people have been stronger than I've ever experienced before. There's like an almost tangible physical feeling to the actual meditation. It's quite remarkable. So I'm looking forward to telling you more about what's going on up here, and actually I need some help and advice as we go in to look at the garden and work with the garden a bit, because I'm not a gardener and I don't pretend to be. I'm going to need some help. I would look forward to getting some advice on Twitter or something like that about what I should be doing, and I'll certainly be asking some questions. So I look forward to all of that, and hopefully you'll find it interesting. Quite frankly, I'm going to really enjoy living here, being here, and sharing this space with you.